Hello everyone, welcome to another Valheim tutorial. Now that you're more comfortable with the different types, let's take a deep look at spawning different prefabs, because this is going to be one of the things that you do a lot, especially early on in your scripting journey. We actually already started doing this in the previous episode where I used a spawn entry here. Long story short, there's actually two different formats for this. There's the legacy way of doing things, which is spawns, and then there's the modern way, which is spawn. There's all sorts of reasons that you might want to spawn something. When you do spawn something, you often want to adjust it in some way. You might want to change the position of the item, the rotation of the item, and you may want to decide whether it triggers other scripts or not. In this video, we're going to focus on these four fields that we have added: data, position, rotation, and trigger rules. First things first, a quick note on data before we get started. It's actually possible to put data in a prefab script, but only if you're editing one field at a time. When we added this data line here, this is what's called one-line or inline data. You can just keep everything in one place. If we take a look at this one-line data here, we have int stack 100. So what's happening is we're getting the coins to spawn in a stack of 100. This is an existing field in vanilla. We're changing something that's already there. There are loads of things that could be adjusted using this data field. So we could change this and we could make it wood, and then instead of stack 100, we'll make it stack 50. And then for testing, let's change the chance to 1 or 100% and then save it. So now we have our neck, we kill him, and then boom, look at that. We have our 50 wood. Stack is the most common thing that you're going to need to adjust when you're spawning an item like wood or coins. But there's more to life than wood and coins. What if you want to spawn a skeleton or a draugr? First, let's adjust this to skeleton. And now we're going to use another really common field, which is quite simply level. As you've probably seen in Valheim, all monsters have 3 levels. There's default, and then 1 star and 2 star, alright? And here's how it works. The normal mob is level 1, a 1-star monster is level 2, and a 2-star monster is level 3. It makes sense if you think about it too much. And there's our neck. Let's shorten his life a bit, and then boom, look at that. We get an immediate 2-star skeleton. And concerning monsters, typically you're going to use this field for their level, but another thing that's really fun to adjust is the monster's name. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well before we move on. We're going to replace this int level 3 with string, and then humanoid.m_name. And then you can write whatever you want. We're going to call him a bony boy. And so let's save our script. Here's a conveniently placed neck that met its end, and then look at that. We have a skeleton named Bony Boy. Let's move on to these other fields: position, rotation, and trigger rules. Position is the X, Z, and Y offset from the triggering object. So in this case, changing Y to 20 will make a skeleton spawn 20 meters up in the air. So let's test that out. We kill our neck, and then boom! You saw that? He fell out of the sky. You can imagine how rotation is pretty similar. We're just going to change one of these values. We'll just angle ourselves right here. We kill the neck, and then boom, skeleton spawned, and look at that, he spawned upside down. The only thing to keep in mind is that this is all done relevant to the triggering prefab. Now let's cover the last part, trigger rules false. This is actually a little misleading because this is the same as this. Trigger rules false is always present, unless you declare trigger rules true. But what does this do exactly? Well, there's one way for you to find out. So we're going to be really scandalous here. We're going to change the type to type create. So when a skeleton gets created, we spawn a skeleton. All right, so let's just spawn a skeleton manually here, and then boom, look at that. skeleton, and then the bony boy spawns up in the air, does his little flip thing, and there he is. Have you figured it out yet? Do you know what trigger rules false does? It's a lot easier to see if you set it to true. Now, let's do the same thing. We're going to make a skeleton. Something happened. As soon as I pressed spawn skeleton, suddenly the game froze. What's going on here? Why'd that happen? Well, think about it. We just created a script where when a skeleton is created, it spawns a skeleton that has trigger rules true. So it spawns a skeleton that then triggers this script that spawns a skeleton that then triggers this script that's... You get the point, right? We just closed an infinite loop and that crashed the client. It's actually funnier to see on a server because it'll make like a huge pile of mobs and then it'll grow out of control and then crash the server. But for now, I wouldn't worry too much about that kind of thing. It's inevitable that you make an infinite loop at some point and wreck yourself. That's just the path of the scripter. So if you do find yourself in that situation, you know you're on the right path. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to support my work, then consider renting your own dedicated Valheim server at my sponsor, Zap Hosting/JP Valheim. Alternatively, I have a Patreon if you want to chip out. Anything that you contribute helps, even if it's just for a month. Or you could just like the video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on what's happening with Expand World Prefabs for Valheim. I'll see you in the rest of the course. Bye-bye.